This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travisy.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. Morning, Joe.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm not as tired as I normally am.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I finally got my CPAP machine.
Nice. Working?
Fine.
Seems like it.
Well, maybe. I don't know if it's a psychological thing or not. I don't know if it's like me thinking it's working, but also at the same time, ever since I started using it, I started going to bed around like 9:30, quarter to 10 instead of my normal 11:30. So I also don't know if maybe I'm actually going to bed, early enough to. So it's, I don't know. I believe I'm resting more at night, but the problem is I'm still waking up because in my mind, and I'm wearing this mask that's attached to a tube that's attached to a machine that's on my nightstand.
Right.
And in my mind, I keep waking up thinking like, fuck, am I pulling this thing off the nightstand? Because I don't want to break the thing. And going into the appointment that I had, where to kind of like run through everything and talk and shit, and which first off, they obviously want to give you all the information you need in order to functionally use this machine, accurately, without flaws and all that stuff, and which is great. That should be the purpose of it. But there's probably certain things that they should find a better way of saying. Like, your insurance covers one of these every 5 years. So if you break it, it's on you. Oh. Things like that. So now I have this constant terror that one day I'm going to pull this thing off of the nightstand. It's going to break, and I'm not going to be able to get a new one unless I buy it outright, which is, I don't know how much the number exactly is. I know it's over $1,000. I think she said it was like $1,400, somewhere around $1,400, some shit like that. I know that I had to pay them $44 at the very beginning of all this, and I owe them $11 a month for the next 13 months. Right. So I don't know what the fuck is that? Like 140 bucks.
176.
176. So I spent about $210, and it's roughly about 20% of what the cost of the machine is. So it's about $1,000. So if I break the thing, I gotta fucking buy it. But then the other thing is, like, if you don't use it for this amount of time within this amount of time, you also have to pay for the entire cost of the machine.
Oh my God.
Which I'm like, okay, cool. So, which isn't too bad. You just gotta use it for a minimum of 4 hours a night for like the next like 90 days or whatever the fuck it is.
Is that like on average?
Yeah, so I think like that's why I'm doing like 8 hours a night. I think like, well, the first 2 nights I was about 8 hours. The last 2 nights I was about 7 hours and shit. But
how does it work? Like, is it just like you wake up and turn it off, or is there like a timer?
Yeah, so because everything's all fancy and shit now, there's like Wi-Fi and connections and shit to it and everything. It's just another machine to fucking monitor you and watch you and shit. But yeah, I put the mask on, I secure it up, I press the button, I lay down, and it starts doing what it needs to do. if I wake up in the middle of the night and shit, I turn the machine off, take it off, go to the bathroom or something like that. Or, I wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh, fuck, machine's still fine? Okay, cool, I'll go back to bed. And, it just does its thing. And then when I'm all done, I turn the machine off, take the mask off. I got to wash the mask. And that's another thing, too, is, like, there's so much, like, additional maintenance now that, like, it's a good thing I'm getting more rest in the morning because I got to wake up earlier now because even talking to Alan, who also has a machine and everything, he's like, yeah, you got to make sure you wash that mask and all that stuff because he got lung infection when he got lazy on doing it.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, fucking A. So, yeah, I got to, like, put the thing in, like, soapy water, like, in the morning and got to empty out the reservoir for the water, and you can only buy distilled water. You can only use distilled water in it. And the biggest problem I always had going to doctors and, going to appointments and doing shit is that the cost of it is dumb. I just found out today that whole sleep test that I did like a month ago, I finally got billed for that for $600 fucking dollars.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, so that's fucking cool. I'm glad that they covered half of it. I don't understand how me sleeping with a machine on my chest, returning the machine and shit, is somehow $1,200-$1,300. But
yeah,
I guess that's the insurance. That's the cost of whatever. But that's the very reason why I'm not sure. Not only me, I'm sure other people are terrified to go to the fucking doctor because normal fucking people don't have $600 fucking laying around to pay a bill that they get a month after doing the fucking appointment. It's the same shit from 2021 where I got a bill for $1,800 going to physical therapy when it was all fucking done. It's like, you don't give me a bill for the first week. You give me till I'm not going anymore. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, you owe us $2,000 fucking dollars. I don't fucking understand it. Yeah. Because when I look at my insurance, it says it's covered by the insurance, but then you got to keep in mind that there's fucking deductibles and there's out-of-pocket maxes and all this fucking goof shit. Stuff that, even to this day, at 35 years old, I still question but never fucking understand it. I don't get it, and it makes no sense to me. It's like, well, how the hell am I paying a couple $100 a month for insurance, but it's not covering everything I needed to do, especially the shit that requires me to stay alive? Okay. Right. So that's fucking stupid. And then, they're talking about, you got to pay the $11 a month for 13 months for this machine. As soon as you do, you own the machine for the next 5 years. And then you could go get a new machine. Okay, cool. So now my prayer is this machine lasts and works for the next 5 years. Right. There's a machine, there's a filter, there's a reservoir that the water goes into, there's a hose, there's a mask, there's the bracket the mask is on, and then there's like a strap. So there's like 8 different pieces to this fucking thing. Certain pieces of it gets replaced. The mask and the filter, I think, are replaced monthly. The bracket and strap are like every 3 months. I think the reservoir is every 6 months. Basically, everything gets replaced at certain integral parts of the existence of this machine. That is also 80% covered, which means I have to pay for the rest of it.
Right.
The problem with it is I don't know what the cost of filters are. I don't know what the cost of the mask is. I don't know what the cost of the bracket or the strap or the reservoir is. I don't know what I am paying once this fucking time has come. And on top of that, I'm using about a half a gallon of distillated water a week. I've used it Tuesday night through Friday night. Uh-huh. And I think I used about a half gallon. So I'm going to be somewhere around a gallon of fucking distillated water a week. And it's about $1 something a gallon. So instantly, I'm probably going to be around $60 a year just on using the fucking water I need to on this machine. Which sure isn't a lot. But again, it goes back to the $11 a month I'm going to be charged. All this just to make sure I don't fucking die.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Well, price to pay. It'd be nice to know up front.
Well, and the thing, and like, I don't think this woman quite understood the difference in my sarcasm and which a lot of people don't understand the difference in my sarcasm and when I really mean shit. Because when she's talking to me about masks and everything, I started like, well, I want to look at getting one of the, the nasal masks because I don't think the full face mask will keep it sealed because of my beard. And she's like, well, we'll have to look, and if you can't use the nasal one, you have to use a full face mask. You just might have to shave. And I told her absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. And she's like, well, if you can't keep it sealed, then, you may not have any other options. And I'm like, no, I do. I could die. And I'm okay with that. I would fucking rather die in my fucking sleep than shave my beard away. And she kind of laughed. And I was like, you have no idea how serious I am right now. Like, she's like, at first I didn't. Like, kind of see tears forming in your eyes. I'm like, absolutely 100%. Like, yeah. Like I like having my beard. I prefer having my beard. I'm not the most appealing looking person right now at this stage of my life. And the beard helps me look a little bit more appealing than what I would look like if I was to shave it away and look like a fat baby. Like, no, absolutely not. So we tried the nasal thing, and she was asking me, she's like, we'll be honest, I'm going to ask you some questions. You just got to be honest with me. And this will dictate what kind of mask you can wear, And he was asking about, like, if your mouth is open and closed while you're sleeping. And I was like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I really don't. It's not like I'm
asleep.
Yeah, it's like I don't got no one next to me saying, like, wow, you really see your mouth projectily opening or consistently opening up throughout the night and everything. And I was like, I know I snore. And I know it's more, I think, mouth than nose and stuff. And she's like, well, if you can't keep your mouth closed while sleeping, what would happen is that the machine would detect a leak because you're supposed to go in and out and all this shit from your nasal. Like, okay, well, I don't know. And she's asking this, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, well, we'll try the nasal thing. So I tried the nasal thing on, and it wasn't that bad. And I was asking, I was like, well, let's try one of the masks. Which one do you think is more successful with somebody who has beards? And then she grabbed that one, we put it on, and she fucking tested it, and she's like, okay, well, this one works. And I'm like, this one will work. She's like, yes, this one will work with your facial hair and everything like that. She's like, maybe not look at making it thicker. And I was like, I'm fine with that, because I'm hoping as I slim down, I also trim down the fucking beard, So it worked. The first couple of nights, I think there were a couple minor leaks. It especially happens like when I shift in bed, like you'll just move the mask a little bit, causing leaks and everything. And it does happen. It gives you there's this app that's attached to it. It gives you like a point system. Sure. And I think like the first night was like 85, the second night was like 87, the next night was 92, and I think last night was like 83 or whatever. But yesterday I was trying to find different ways, because I want to get back to sleeping on my side. I miss sleeping on my side, but I think I'm going to be a point in my life now where I'm going to be a flat back sleeping fucking person, and it is what it is. As much as I want the beard and I probably would accept it over sleep apnea, I do want to live. But yeah, I don't know how it's working. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's a psychological thing. I don't know if it's because I'm going to sleep a couple hours earlier. I know like when I was waking up, I was still kind of waking up by the alarm, but I wasn't like dog ass tired where I couldn't get out of bed and shit like that. Like I would still wake up at 6 and I would still snooze the alarm, but instead of falling back asleep, I was just kind of laying there, trying to collect my thoughts for the day. Seeing how this machine's working, looking at the app, checking my scores on breathing and how many episodes I'm having. Last night, I think I had 0.5 episodes an hour, which according to the lady and the report that they got, I had 18 episodes an hour. So obviously that's an improvement. And I guess like she said, and a couple other people were saying too, is because I was telling her, I went to the doctor and I got tested for, I had my blood drawn and tested for shit, and the biggest problem was the testosterone level, and that's my concern right now. It's like I want to fix that number, and I don't know if she was just saying it to be a salesman. I don't think she is. I think she gets paid either way, but. If you fall within more of a REM sleep, a consistent REM sleep, that could help, restructure or fix your body in a way. And testosterone's a part of that. So I got to go to my doctor within the next 31 to 90 days or whatever. And he needs to confirm that the sleep machine's working. So we'll see. Day 21 is at the end of this month, and that should be like the point where like you really start kind of seeing and feeling the difference. So
nice.
We'll see. I'm hoping it'll be a benefit. Right now, if it is the machine, it truly is a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish that the cost of it wasn't fucking ridiculous. But I wish the cost of all fucking medical stuff was, like I said again, I spent $600 on a machine that I used to fucking sleep in that I returned without any damage to. That makes no fucking sense. It's like, it's cool that the insurance covered half of it, but that fucking test shouldn't be $1,200 to begin with.
Right.
So, I don't know. What about you, Joe? Anything new and exciting with you before we dive into today?
New and exciting. Nothing special. We've had leaks in the basement at the church for forever. And we think we finally found the source of them. And so starting today, theoretically, now it should happen today. We got a guy coming in to do some tuck pointing and fix some of our masonry where it seems like the leaks are coming through.
So it's more like an external leak from outside rather than like a pipe or something like that. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, it always happens when it rains, and it's because the joint between the foundation and the masonry is it's just old. It's worn out. It's an 80-year-old building, and it's been not well maintained. And I guess the guy who's doing it actually showed our treasurer, like he stuck his finger in the joint and pulled out like a thing of dirt and moss and stuff. Like that's supposed to be grout. That's not supposed to be dirt and moss. So he's doing that today supposedly. But the only thing is that we got a discount for paying in cash.
Mm-hmm.
And when I gave the guy the envelope yesterday, he's like, "Great, I got to go run and get some supplies, and then I'll be back later today, and then tomorrow, so today, as we were recording, I'll be there really early in the morning to get started or to finish it up." I'm like, "That's fine, as long as it gets done before it rains next, I don't care." But my thing is he didn't come while I was at the church last night, so he didn't come back yesterday at all. And like maybe I have no problem believing it's a one-day job. It'll be done today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to go over there and check because we gave him cash. There's nothing. We can't cancel the check or there's no paper trail that proves we paid.
Yeah.
I didn't get an invoice or anything when he took the money.
Is this a company or is this like a dude that lives is this somebody's friend or?
No, he's supposedly he's a company. There's been a housing restoration going on next door for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And we just found the guy who did the tuck pointing on that building and
Gotcha.
Asked for his number. So I think he is a business. I didn't get his card. He was going to bring it with him when he came back yesterday. And then he didn't come back yesterday. So I don't know. Hopefully it's done.
Yeah.
Well,
is it internal work or external work that he needs to do? Okay. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible that he's there right now doing it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. It is definitely, especially when it comes to money and stuff. It's definitely a concerning trust. It's like I wanna believe that this is one of the good people in the world and shit.
Yeah. And he didn't give me any bad vibes. I can usually tell when somebody's trustworthy or not.
Well, it's like one of the things. I think I said this like before on the show. It's like you could either be somebody who doesn't trust anyone until they give you a reason to trust them, or you could be somebody who trusts somebody until you give them a reason not to and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm usually in the second category.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll come across somebody who I'm like, I got a bad vibe off that person.
Okay. Well, and here's the thing too. Like, do you know the dude's name?
I know his first name.
Okay. So you know his first name, you know where he has worked before. So I'm sure it's not difficult to find out exactly who he is. And I'm sure he doesn't want to be known as the guy who scammed a church.
Right.
So it's
That's
like right?
Yeah, and he's like he was telling me yesterday that he's never left the city of Chicago before. Gotcha. So he's probably like, a solid, Chicago contractor type, and that's some of them are scammy and some of them are not, but usually they're trustworthy, especially when it comes to a church.
Yeah. So we'll find out a few months from now if we're blasting somebody about it or not.
But yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it's worked out, and that's awesome. So when you say that there's dirt and moss in there, are you talking about like somebody like cut corners and used something they shouldn't, or that just like it flowed in there because of the leaks and stuff over time?
Yeah, I think over time it just kind of wore out and
Gotcha.
Was replaced by dirt and moss. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and it's the side of the building that has we have got a big tree on that side, so there's the gutter sometimes gets full and we don't maintain that very well, and we got a bunch of little big things. Yeah, little big things sounds more right. Yeah. Like we really need to in the long term have a plan to replace like all the soffit and fascia around the building, like the wood that is underneath the gutters.
Is this stuff
all rotted?
Is this stuff that's been in the works for a while, or is this coming around because of your official full-time status now?
I am happy to take credit for it, but it is something that we've been trying to get a handle on for a long time.
Gotcha.
So I think we're doing it because like hiring me full-time was a commitment to stick around, right? Not just from me, but from them. Like, okay, we feel that we cannot seriously consider having a future unless we have a serious full-time pastor. So we're going to hire you as a full-time pastor as the first step to proving we're serious. And so like with that, I feel like it gave my treasurer is the one who's been hunting these things down. And so for him, I think it was an opportunity to say, okay, they're serious about this. So I'm going to start seriously doing this. And so he has been.
Excellent.
So, which is great because like I'm serious about it too, but I don't know what I'm looking for. Now if it ever happened in this exact same way again, I'd know where to look. But but it's new to me. I've never really dealt with building issues and leaks and stuff. So just the cleanup.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any progress on the seats and pews and stuff, or?
Not yet. So what we did was at our last board meeting, we agreed to update the lighting. So it's so dark in there. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing we're doing is we're fixing the lighting. No, that's the first thing we agreed to do. There's a 21-week lead on the new lights that we bought. So it'll be a nice Christmas present.
Perfect.
But in the meantime, we did open up a comment period on taking out the back section of pews and a couple of pews, Mm-hmm. No one has stopped by to look at it or give any suggestions yet. So I'm a little like, I actually sent an email yesterday like, hey, no one has stopped by to give any comments. So I'm extending the comment period a week. Here are my office hours in case you don't know them. Like, please come stop by, Wednesday through Friday and look at it. And if you can't do it then like, and it's not to say I'm not, or by appointment, right? Like I can be around whenever, but I try to only guarantee that I'm in the building, those 3 afternoons a week. Because I can do a lot of work from home and I don't really feel like driving over and using the air conditioner when I have an air conditioner at home.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. And anyway, all that is to say, I'm giving people, and then we have a cookout next Sunday. And so I ended the email with like, look, if nothing else, come get a hot dog and then stand here and look at this and see if you think it'll work. So we'll see.
What kind of hot dog? Are we doing all beef or that chicken rib bullshit?
I usually do all beef. I do all beef hot dogs. I do pork broths, and then I have a couple veggie dogs for the people who are veggie dog people.
Solid. See, that would make me want to come look at it. If you try to sell me some fucking like ballpark chicken rib, I'd be like, just send me a picture.
Yeah, no,
I'm not rolling out bed for fucking chicken dogs and shit.
Right. No, I take my cookouts very seriously.
Hebrew National? You go Hebrew National?
What do I usually do? Sometimes it's Hebrew National. Sometimes it's Vienna beef. It's whatever's on sale. I will admit I will go for what's on sale because it is just a hot dog.
Well, Vienna would be solid because that is the hot dog of Chicago. So that I understand. But dude, there's something about fucking Hebrew Nationals that what's that one? It's that one fucking hot dog. It's like in a green package. It's like it's not. I think it's Frank's, not Ballpark Frank, but it's like Frank's.
That sounds right.
Hot dog green package. Those are also really good.
Nathan's.
Nathan's
right.
and Hebrew Nationals are my top hot dogs of choice. And the thing is too, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love like a plump fucking hot dog and shit, but something about those are fantastic. And to be honest with you, any dog is fine with me if it is charred on a grill.
Yep.
So,
that's what we do.
Perfect. Now I kind of want a fucking hot dog. God damn it.
The cookout will start around 11:45.
Today?
Next week, next Sunday.
Oh, next Sunday. Gotcha. So you're looking at doing this like kind of like after the service instead of like a coffee like.
Correct.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I would love to put it on a different day, but my congregants have been pretty clear about like we'd rather just have it as a coffee hour substitute. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I do care, but like it's not worth fighting about yet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Thomas said it's supposed to be on Wednesdays, Weenie Wednesday.
Yeah, well, that's what we're starting our s'mores nights up again.
Awesome.
This upcoming Wednesday, which I didn't realize when I picked it was my anniversary. So
yeah, that's on you, bro.
Yep.
What is it? 6 years?
9.
9. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna go eat. There's a nice Korean restaurant nearby that we're gonna try out.
There you go.
But not on Wednesday. We'll do it some other day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about, we haven't really talked about it a lot, and I don't know why. And because, I mean, obviously we spend a lot of time talking about life and talking about the unfortunate headache of what's happening in 2024 as far as the presidential shit.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something a little bit more lighter, and before we dive back into that nonsense. And obviously I do still want to talk about the Olympics, which is coming up here in a little. Should be starting up. I think a week or so, actually, like a week and a half. I want to talk about Deadpool.
I keep thinking they're in the middle of it, but it's like
it's all the trials and shit. Yeah. Because I think the Olympics starts like the 27th or something like that.
27.
26th.
Wow,
26th.
That's the same day as Deadpool and Wolverine comes out.
And that's who I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the Deadpool Wolverine movie because we haven't talked about it. It's clearly going to be a thing, and it's one of those things I'm still trying to debate on whether or not I want to go see in the theaters because the only two Deadpool movies I know of have been fucking fantastic. Most of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine movies have been great, except for, I think, The Wolverine, the one where he was in, I think, Japan. I didn't really care much for that one. Mm-hmm. But obviously all the X-Men ones, the original Wolverine one I liked. So Logan, I could kind of take her, give her, take it or leave it. But
I love it. It's obviously a different Wolverine timeline.
Yeah, I've only watched it once, so if I watch again, my mind may change about it. I don't know. I guess I just like the whole idea of a Wolverine that can't die.
Mm-hmm.
A less compassionate Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's the Wolverine I like. But I don't think Logan's a bad movie. I just I only saw it once, and it was just like I kind of took it for what it was. It was the end of the story, and I think that's also why it kind of bothered me. It's kind of the same reason like why Gran Torino is my least favorite Clint Eastwood movie because he dies in it. And you watch any Clint Eastwood movie ever in existence, the only other movie he quote unquote dies in is Honky Tonk Man, but he dies off camera from cancer. So Clint Eastwood doesn't die in movies. Except Gran Torino, he did, and because of that, I'm just like, you can't kill Clint Eastwood. Like, that shit doesn't happen. So, Deadpool and Wolverine is an upcoming American superhero film based on the Marvel comic characters Deadpool and Wolverine, produced by Marvel, Maximum Effort, and 21 Lapse Entertainment, and distributed by the Walt Disney Studio Motion Picture. It is intended to be the 34th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and a sequel to Deadpool in 2016 and Deadpool 2 in 2018. The film is directed by Sean Levy from a screenplay he wrote with Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, and Zeb Wells. Reynolds and Hugh Jackman starred as Deadpool and Wolverine, respectively, alongside Emma Corrin and Matthew McFadden. In the film, the Time Variance Authority pulls Deadpool from his quiet life and sets him on a mission with Wolverine that will change the history of the MCU. 6 years after the event of Deadpool in 2018, Wade Wilson lives a quiet life, having left his time as the mercenary Deadpool behind until the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, a bureaucratic organization that exists outside the time and space and monitors the timeline, pulls him in to a new mission with his home universe facing an existential threat. Wilson reluctantly joins an even more reluctant Wolverine on a mission that will change the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is all the low-key show, right? Like that's the time, right?
Yeah, low-key.
What'd I say? Low-key? Low-key. Yeah. So Lowkey, perfect. Fucking I'm on top of it. Is there a second season to Loki?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't seen that yet, but so there's got to be a chance that Owen Wilson is in this movie, right?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Right. I mean, he didn't die in the TV show, did he?
Nope.
Right. So there's got to be a maybe. Maybe there's got to be like an Owen Wilson, a Loki kind of like they got to show up. I know I've seen some of the previews, and I know I do remember seeing the I think the Age of Ultron opener. We were running through the woods. I think I remember seeing that. Obviously, I know they made the joke about Ant-Man and Paul Rudd finally aging. So those are a couple of things that I remember seeing. As far as the cast goes, we got Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson / Deadpool, a wisecracking mercenary with accelerated healing but severe scarring all over his body after undergoing an experimental regenerative mutation to treat terminal cancer. The start of the film sees Wilson no longer operating as Deadpool, no longer dating Vanessa, and working as a used car salesman. Oh, he's not dating Vanessa? That's weird. Writer Rhett Reese describes Deadpool as a flash out of the water in the film. Oh, fish out of water. In the film, a lunatic dropped into the sane world of the MCU. Reynolds says the audience did not have to take Deadpool seriously, particularly with his fourth wall breaking and unreliable narration, but he wanted them to be invested in the other characters. Reynolds also portrays a long-haired, non-scarred variation of Deadpool. Is there other variations of Deadpool in Marvel Comics?
Oh, yeah.
Is there really? Okay. Hugh Jackman as James Logan Howlett / Wolverine. A mutant with healing abilities, retractable claws, and an adamantium-infused skeleton. This version of the character is from an alternate universe where he let down the inhabitants. This, along with pairing Wolverine with Deadpool, allowed Jackman to explore new aspects of the character than in his prior appearances in the 20th Century Fox's X-Men film series. Jackman said Logan and Wilson were opposites and had a quarreling dynamic. While directing, Sean Levy said their relationship is impacted by both characters being haunted with regret. To prepare for the role, Jackman began a vigorous workout routine that included eating up to 8,000 calories a day. And that's bullshit, because if I eat 8,000 calories a day, I just get fat. So I love Hugh Jackman, but fuck Hugh Jackman, come on. Jackman also portrayed various variants of Wolverine, including a comic-accurate height version, Patch, who wears a white tuxedo with an eye patch, an older variant in the style of the Old Man Logan comics, a 1990 style variant, and a variant that wears a comic-accurate brown and tan costume.
All right.
Okay, I did not know that there are going to be that many Wolverines. Also, I think
played by Jackman?
That's what it says.
Huh.
A comic-accurate height version. Wolverine's like what, like 5'4"?
Yep. And Hugh Jackman's like 6'2" or something.
I wonder if X-Men 97 kind of wraps into this too.
Oh, I don't know.
You know, I mean, kind of like how they did like when they did the what ifs, and they kind of wrapped it into like Doctor Strange. I wonder if this is like kind of similar and shit. Like is the Wolverine from X-Men 97, is that the alternate universe that this variant in 2024 is a part of?
Oh man, I'd love that.
Emma Corrin plays Cassandra Nova, a mutant with telekinetic and telepathic powers who is the twin sister of Charles Xavier with otherworldly origins. Never heard of this character before.
Me either.
Corrin was excited to play a villain in the film as they had not played many villain roles before. Corrin took inspiration from Christopher Waltz's character Hans Landa in the film Inglourious Basterds. While Reynolds highlighted Corrin's humanization and the motivation of the character, comparing Nova's mischief, danger, and unpredictability to the energy of actor Gene Wilder. Reynolds and Gene Wilder, was that the Willy Wonka, right? Yeah. I never heard of Emma Corrin before. So she played Princess of Wales in Netflix show The Crown. I don't know who this is. None of these shows. Alex's Dream, Misbehavior, The Pet Psychic, My Policeman, Lady Chardelet's Lover, Good Grief, Grantchester, Pennyworth, The Crown. I heard of that one. 10%, Murder at the End of the World.
Big break from her past acting roles, I would guess.
Yeah, I think just based on those and the fact that she is from England, I'm assuming that maybe this is like her first Americanized role, and the fact that it's a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be coached. It's gonna be interesting though, because I mean, I guess really, I'm assuming that she's the twin sister of the Patrick Stewart Xavier, who's also British. I guess the other guy's British too. Who not James Gordon-Levitt. What's the fucking?
Yeah. James, is it Marsden?
I think that's right. Yeah. British. Let's see, where we Reynolds and Levy explains Nova to Corrin as someone who would endear and charm you to the point that you are going to be best friends for life, only to realize she could easily kill you. Corrin was interested in having a physical transformation for the role, but was told by the studio that this was not required for the character. What's up?
James McAvoy, not Marsden.
Who's James Marsden?
He's another actor. I forget what he played.
Okay. But McAvoy is right. You are correct. I don't recall.
He played Cyclops.
Oh. Okay. Solid. I don't. What the hell was James Marsden in? I know you just said Cyclops, but there was a movie recently that he was in where they joked about him being Cyclops. I think he played himself.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not important. I don't recall them ever talking about Charles Xavier having a sister. I know they talk about like Colossus, or not Colossus, Juggernaut being like his like half brother is his step brother or whatever it is, but I don't remember ever a twin sister like existing. Which is
mentioned that.
Yeah, it's like, but and it's weird too. It's like because like, and I learned a lot of Marvel stuff from playing like that Marvel Contest of Champions game. Like Colossus has a sister too. Her name is Magic, so that's a thing. Because of Avengers, we know that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are twins. So I guess a lot of siblings and everything, but it's like they should find a way to, or they should have found a way to incorporate a Cassandra Nova in these fucking movies, especially like when what was that movie? X-Men First Class, when Mystique breaks into Charles Xavier's childhood home. There's never a mention of another child in the house.
Right.
You know, it's like, so unless this is like a separated at birth thing, which I doubt it is if they're twins, you know, you gave birth to two children, but it was never mentioned, even like through any of the, 20 years of X-Men series. Like, I don't remember them ever saying anything about Charles having a twin sister.
Boy. I just looked her up on Wikipedia. Her first appearance isn't until July 2001. So she's like a retcon character. But this is one of the most X-Men things I've ever read because it's so ridiculous.
What's that?
Cassandra Nova began life at the same time as Charles Xavier. Conceived without a body, Cassandra improvised one by copying Xavier's DNA to make her own body, effectively becoming his twin sister.
Hold on. Jimmy, if you read that again, because I think I had a stroke.
It sounds like a stroke. It sounds like it smells of burnt toast. This sentence. Cassandra Nova began life at the same time as Charles Xavier. Conceived without a body, Cassandra improvised one by copying Xavier's DNA to make her own body, effectively becoming his twin sister.
Okay, so I'm looking at an image of this fucking person, right? It's a cartoon. It's an animated image of this person, bald head and all that stuff. In my mind now, all I'm seeing is, if I look at what this actress looks like and what the character potentially is going to look like, all I see is the Doctor Strange woman.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna imagine now, because that's all I fucking see. Like this Emma Lewis Gordon, like her face kind of looks like that actress, and the fact that now she's going to be bald, because I know they talk about how this is going to be like a rated R movie,
right?
And my illusion is that this is going to have a darker tone than normal Marvel movies. I think similar to the most recent Doctor Strange movie. It's going to have that darker tone to it. And I hope it does. So I'm going to guess that this woman's going to have that villainous, like, gritty look to her. And I hope she does. Because if she doesn't, and she comes looking like a normal fucking person, and look, what's that character's name, that woman I'm thinking of from Doctor Strange? Like,
oh, she was the Supreme Sorcerer before.
Supreme Sorcerer, yeah.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme. That's all I'm going to see when I look at her, based on this, unless they really CGI her up or make up her up to give her like a gruesome, more fucking look.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a birth twin sister. It was just somebody who mimicked him, and they just said, "Here we go."
Yep.
That's going to be an interesting fucking villain. That's okay.
Yeah.
Matthew McFadden is playing Mr. Paradox, a time variance authority agent who started a project to end the crumbling Fox universe. Paradox hopes that with the success in mercy killing the already doomed timeline with his new device, the Time Ripper, he will rise through the ranks of the TVA and eventually become its leader. Another thing just to look at, because I think that they list a bunch of our characters, and we may hit a couple here before I get to it, but didn't Cable travel through time?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't Cable help him with this? Like, wouldn't you want to recruit Cable as well, who is part of time travel to begin with? I mean, it's not like the first time he ever time traveled was going back in time to do this. I think that was part of his job in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
yeah, maybe Josh Brolin got too expensive.
Right? Maybe he just preferred Thanos too much. He's like,
Right.
you know, I already died somewhere else, though. Reprising the roles from the previous Deadpool films is Marina Baccarin as Vanessa Carlyle, Wilson's former fiance. See, and I hate that. I like the idea of them being together.
Mm-hmm.
Whose relationship with Wilson is further reinvented in the film, according to Baccarin. Rob Delaney as Peter Wisdom, a member of Wilson's X-Force team. Leslie Uggams as Blind Al.
Nice.
Wilson's blind elderly roommate. Karen Sony as Dopinder, a taxi. Karan? Karan? Karan. Karan?
Yeah, I guess. I've never heard that word before.
Karan Sani as Dopinder, a taxi driver and admirer of Wilson, who serves as his de facto chauffeur. Brianna Hildebrand as Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Nice.
A teenage member of the X-Men with the mutant powers to detonate atomic bursts from her body. Stephanie Capisci as the voice of Colossus. Steven as the voice of Colossus, a member of the X-Men with the mutant ability to transform his body into organic steel, which we have yet to see him in human form in Deadpool. I would like to see that in this movie.
Yeah.
I want to see normal Colossus. Shioli Kasuna as Yuko. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember how they said it. Yukio?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yukio, Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend and fellow X-Men member. What is her abilities? Female ninja of Japanese origin, supporting actor and particularly associated with Wolverine, originally conceived of as a love interest of Storm. The characterization. Okay. So different character. I guess they couldn't afford Storm in the in part 2.
Yeah.
Randall Reeder as Buck and Louis Tan as Shatter, a member of X-Force. Okay, so Randall Reeder is Buck, but Buck what? No description of Buck, just there's a Buck. Okay. Several actors from previous Fox-produced Marvel films also reprised their roles, including Aaron Stanford as Pyro, a mutant with the ability to manipulate fire, Tyler Mann as Sabretooth, a mutant with extendable claws and superhuman strength. I'm guessing that's the original Sabretooth, right? Not the X-Men Origin one? Yeah. Jennifer Garner as Elektra, an assassin who wields a pair of sais from Daredevil.
Wow.
I guess so.
They're going to bring Ben Affleck's Daredevil in too?
God. I bet they make a joke about it.
I bet you're right.
I bet they 100% do. Stanford enjoyed having a more comic accurate costume over the one that was worn in X2. Wait, who's Stanford? Oh, Pyro. Okay. Also appearing in the films are Dogpool, a canine variant of Wilson, played by dog actor Peggy. Lady Deadpool, a female variant of Wilson. The mutants Toad, Lady Deathstrike, Azazel, and Juggernaut. Additionally, Jon Favreau reprises his role as Happy Hogan, while Chris Hemsworth appears as Thor through repurposed archival footage from Dark World. Greg Hemphill appears as plays a bartender, and Wrexham AFC player Ollie Palmer previously appears as a bar attendee. Oh, so an athlete. Okay. So Wrexham AFC is a team, not a person. Cool. Rob McElhenney makes an undisclosed cameo appearance. And for those who don't know, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Jesus. After the success of Deadpool, 20th Century Fox began developing 2 sequels. The third was set to include a superhero team X-Force. Deadpool director Tim Miller chose not to return for the sequel due to a creative difference with star Ryan Reynolds and David Leitch, who was hired. And David Leitch was hired to direct Deadpool 2. Who's Tim Miller? Okay, I'm getting him confused with the bartender from Deadpool. Was hired Deadpool 2 in November 2016. Fox was looking for another filmmaker to develop the third film. In March 2017, Deadpool and Deadpool 2 co-writer Rhett Reese said X-Force would be introduced in Deadpool 2 before starring in planned spin-off film that would launch something bigger, separate from the third Deadpool film, which would be more personal. When the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by Disney was announced in December 2017, the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger said Reynolds' Deadpool would be integrated into Marvel's cinematic universe. This was despite those films being rated PG-13 and Deadpool being rated R. Iger said Disney was willing to make R-rated Deadpool films as long as we let the audience know what's coming, and said a Marvel R brand could be created for characters like Deadpool. Okay. In May of 2018, Reynolds said a third Deadpool film may not be made due to the shift of focus to the X-Force. Reese and his writer partner Paul Wernick said the third film would happen after Reynolds took a break from the character and the X-Force films was released, similar to the MCU crossover for the Avengers being released between Iron Man 2 and the Iron Man 3. At the end of May of 2018, Leitch expressed interest in returning for another Deadpool film. Depending on the schedule, a third Deadpool film was believed to be in active development by that August. The production planned to take place in Atlanta, Georgia, rather than in Vancouver. So we're talking about 6 years now it's been since people have been waiting for this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
I could not remember the fact that it had been taking that long. That's insane. Once Upon a Deadpool, a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2 was released at the end of the year. It was watched carefully by Disney and Marvel Comics to see how it might inform their approach to the character in the MCU while promoting Once Upon a Deadpool. Reynolds confirmed that a third Deadpool film was in development. Josh Brolin, who portrayed Cable in Deadpool 2 and Thanos in MCU, said in June of 2019 that he had discussed his future as Cable in the Marvel Studios. In October, Zazie Beetz said she would be surprised if she did not reprise her Deadpool role as Domino in future films. That month, Reese and Wernick said they and Reynolds were taking a much-needed rest from Deadpool, while they wanted to hear from Marvel Studios about the franchise's future. They confirmed that Deadpool film would be made, that it would be a rated R like the previous films, and that it would integrate the characters with the MCU. Wernick said there was never a set pitch for a third Deadpool film between their exhaustion following Deadpool 2 and the announcement of Fox's acquisition by Disney. So, nothing about Domino, which I did like Domino. I hope that is a thing in the new Deadpool movie. No, there's a lot. What's your thoughts on Deadpool? Are you excited for this movie? Not excited? Because, I mean, you're not really into Marvel movies anymore, are you?
Not generally, no. I haven't seen one since. No, I mean, I'm not opposed to them, but I don't think I've seen one. Gosh, I saw the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and then I think I watched Shang-Chi at home on Disney Plus, but I don't think I've seen anything else since Endgame. Yeah, like a lot of it just hasn't really hit the same.
It's definitely a weird feeling, like watching. Like I still watch all the movies, but yeah, they do have a different feel to it when you sit there and realize that okay, Iron Man's gone, Captain America is gone, Thor is gone, Black Widow is gone, Hawkeye is gone, and it's like yeah, those original characters are gone, and you could bring in the substitutes.
Right.
I got Spider-Man.
Now you can bring in anybody you want because of the variants and stuff.
Oh yeah, like the universes and shit. Yeah, and it's cool that they do that. In a sense of like, well, now you can bring anyone back anytime you want. But then also it's like, they're making choices that just don't make fucking sense. Like the new Fantastic Four movie's coming out, and John Krasinski's not, Mr. Fantastic.
And it's going to take place in the 60s instead of in the present.
Yeah, so it's goofy shit like that where like that doesn't make sense. It's like the people we want aren't even there. Even when you have the opportunity for them to be there, you don't have them there. And what is Sam? Is it Sam Wilson? Is that Sam the Falcon's last name?
Yeah.
Sam Wilson. I know they're coming out with a new Captain America movie as him being Captain America, and I hope that people can see it for what it is. Like, it's not the Captain America, but it's still Captain America.
Right.
And I know that's like a huge shadow. And I like, even like it's crazy how even as a character compared to the actor, it's like they're pretty big fucking shoes to fill. It's like you are taking the spot of true Captain America. It's kind of the same thing with Black Panther. Yeah. The sister has to take over the reins as Black Panther. It's like that's a tall order between replacing the actor and replacing the character. But if people could get out of their minds and out of their heads about like well, this really isn't Captain America. It's like it's a different Captain America. It's still a character that's supposed to represent what Captain America is. It's like you gotta get out of the idea of like a character like. Captain America, Black Panther, they're more than just a character. It's
not the man, it's the idea.
Exactly. So when you look at it that way, then it becomes more. It's very similar to when I think I had this goofy idea like after Tony Stark died, when you saw Gwyneth Paltrow or Pepper Potts or whatever in an Iron Man suit. You think like, oh shit, this is the next generation of Iron Man. Is now Pepper Potts is the next Iron Man. Sam Wilson is the next Captain America. Fucking Spider-Man's gonna join in. And now that nobody knows who fucking Peter Parker is, he can be a superhero that just fucking blends right into it and everything. You got She-Hulk, who replaces the original Hulk, who's not really a smash and grab kind of person anymore. So they're building these next generations, but they're never discussing these next generations. And I think in 2025 we're supposed to get like the first Avengers movie since Endgame, but there's such a length of time in between these Marvel movies. Like, who is actually the fucking Avengers? They're gonna come around against Kong or King or whatever the hell it is. In 2025, it's like something's not really fucking connecting there, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I think when it was something that was like, what is it? It's like when it was all the time, when it was 3 movies
every
a year
3 months,
and stuff.
Yeah,
it was a lot easier to be excited with it and like sustain the excitement, and because you knew what you were gonna do. Yeah. For a movie, you knew in February, you knew in June, you knew in November. You'd have a movie to go see. I don't know. I feel like they've really dropped off. And I'm sure the movies are great. I have no complaint about the movies I've seen. But it's just, it's hard to sustain the interest.
Yeah.
When there's this spread apart.
Yeah. The Marvels movie with all 3 Captain Marvels, or the 2 Captain Marvels and the, I can't remember what the one girl's name is. It's not Proton.
Marvel?
Well, there's Captain Marvel. Yeah, there's Captain Marvel. There's Kamala Khan, and then there's the other one. But I don't think she's technically a Marvel, but she's called like, I think it's called like Proton. I think she's called like Proton. That's the character's name, anyways. Yeah. So that movie was really good too, because the thing is, like, again, when you get out of the concept of what it's supposed to be, you still got Captain Marvel, but you're still now you're building up the next generation. And again, like when they're splicing in previous shit, you go back and look at Vision and Wanda. You had that new Vision come out, and we haven't seen that new Vision since.
Right.
Okay, so what the hell's going on? Scarlet Witch, where the fuck? It's like we saw her in, Doctor Strange, but now you haven't seen her since. It's like,
right.
And they used to do so well as incorporating people into things, even if there was just mentioned. Even if it was just a mention of like, oh, where's so and so? It's like, oh, well, they're off doing this or some shit. But even now, it's like not one time in the Marvels was Strange and Scarlet mentioned, which you think it would because that multiverse fucked up everything.
Right.
And it's like, I think they should have done a lot better of like combining and incorporating shit across it because you need to start building connections to get ready for that next mega movie that is supposed to be that Avengers movie. Until you tell me who those Avengers are supposed to be, it's like, how can I buy into it?
Yeah.
You know, you did Shang-Chi, what, 10 years ago?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, maybe eight, whatever. And you're going to do a sequel, but when? It's like, now this dude the movie came out, he has done something, but now people don't know about him because they're not doing anything with it. Eternals, same fucking thing. These superheroes. These large...
was only 3 years ago.
Was it 3? God, it felt like fucking forever.
It felt like 10. Yeah.
It's that pandemic time. You know, like maybe it was only 3 years ago, man. Pandemic time, it was 6.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like you don't mention him. Like he's never talked about. You know, it's like, okay, cool. And then you get to the Eternals, who are these larger than life gods, you know, stronger than fucking anybody. You do a movie about them, and then nothing. Like nothing at all. It's like,
I never saw Eternals, but I know at the end there's that like, oh, what's coming up next? Big bad guy. And it has like the statue of Galactus or whatever poking up from the ocean. And that's never mentioned again. Like you'd think that would be, what do I want to say? If that's a new thing, that would be a big deal that you think somebody somewhere would mention. Yeah. Even if it's just an offhand line, like, hey, what's going on with the ocean? You know, or it's such an old thing that like, why should anyone care about it? Because, you know, you haven't shown. It's a nice little Easter egg for people who know who Galactus is, but for everyone else, it's like, what do I care? It's not, you know, with Thanos at least, when his first appearance showed, there was like this is an actual connection to the next bad guy because he has something to say about it. You know, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yep. Well, that's another thing. Okay, so I can't remember which movie it was, but I think it was the Marvels. They did a post-credits scene where Beast was in it. I can't remember which movie. I want to say it was the Marvels. Or it was Doctor Strange. It was one of the two. But the point is, like, okay, so fucking Kelsey Grammer dressed up as the Beast to be Beast. Now Beast is not mentioned in Deadpool Wolverine.
Right.
If I pray to God he is, because now you're connecting shit. But if he's not there, then what the fuck was that for?
Right.
You know, it's... I don't know. If you haven't seen it, dude, if you haven't seen Eternals, I recommend watching it. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah. It's on my list. I just haven't got around to it. It's like the idea of sitting down and watching something for 3 hours. It's like, ugh.
Didn't you do that with an animated TV show on Netflix?
See, but it was only in 11-minute bites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like it's such a weird thing because it's like I can commit myself to like a 10 to 15, maybe even 20-minute TV show.
Yeah.
I could do it for 8 hours because I have the chance to walk away every 20 minutes. But with a movie or something anymore, if I'm sitting at home, if I'm going to the theater, I'm all in. I love going to the theater. But sitting at home and watching it's just tough for me. I don't know why.
I've been to the theater, I think, 2 or 3 times since the pandemic ended, in a sense. So in my mind, it's like, do I want to go and see this movie in theaters, or do I want to wait for it to come out on Disney? I think I'm going to go see it in theaters. I want to go see it like night of. Like, I actually want to take the day off of work and go see it day of. Yeah, I think like they have an opening. And the theater down by me, like, I still go online, I still look at it, even though all the pre-sales are happening, there are so many seats that are still fucking open up for that night, and for like opening night and shit. Which, I mean, I kind of understand, like, down by me, probably not as big as, like, you know, if I was to go up north towards Chicago and, you know, Naperville and all that stuff, like, you know, they're probably already like, sold all the tickets. But it's like, I don't know, usually, like, when I go to movies and stuff like that, like, I usually go count and stuff, but, you know, he's too busy being an adult or whatever. Don't got time for children movies, whatever. Khaki shorts and grill and stepdad motherfucker. But I don't know. I'm excited to see it just because I want to see what I want to see, because I'm getting asshole Wolverine. You know, I'm getting douchebag fucking Wolverine. You know, the guy who sat at that bar when Xavier and Magneto came in asking for help, and Wolverine told him to fuck off. Like, that's the Wolverine we're getting. It's like awesome, and there's a bunch of trailers, and bless you that come out to kind of show bits and pieces of what's happening, and I'm really excited to see what they're doing. Because obviously they're traveling through different points in time. We saw that in them, so it's cool to see what they bring back. From what I read, at least going back to a Thor scene, from what I saw in the trailers, they're going back to an Avengers scene. There's a dead Ant-Man for some reason, so clearly they're going into the future, a giant man. So there's a lot of variables. And the fact that this is 13 days away, I'm really excited for it, so I can't wait to go see it. But any final thoughts from your end on Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's something I've wanted to see for a really long time. What do I want to say? I've been looking forward to the idea of a Deadpool and Wolverine movie pretty much since the first Deadpool happened. And I feel like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have such a great relationship on and off the screen that it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really good time. I like all of the stuff that they've snuck into the trailer that is like, Liefeld's feet or whatever. Makes me laugh. So I feel like Ryan Reynolds gets the character in a way that you wouldn't expect somebody to get the character. Yeah. And I've always, I don't know, I'm pumped. I'm bummed that it feels like it's probably going to be the last true outing for the character. And that sucks, but it's going to be great. I think it's going to go out with a bang. So
I don't know where I heard it from, but I thought I heard a rumor that Deadpool is supposed to die in this movie.
Gotcha.
And not like die in like Deadpool 2, but like truly like the character not dies here. Yeah. Which, honestly, the way Marvel does shit, and how they talk about how like, Deadpool sees like his new family as a family, for him to is not out of the realm of possibility for him to sacrifice himself for them.
Right.
So, it would suck because, like I said, and I think he does well as Deadpool, like with the cadence of his voice and the tone of his voice and that fourth wall breaking, like is spot on. Like he does a great job.
Right.
And yeah, I want to see fucking Deadpool in the Avenger movies and shit. I would love to have seen him in Civil War.
Right.
Like shit like that is like I think there were missed opportunities for him not to have cameos in those movies. Anytime, even if he was mentioned in Endgames or Infinity War and shit like that, when they're looking for like heroes and all this other shit, because they do. Like I'm guessing it had to be a multiverse thing where, Wade Wilson's Deadpool is in a different world than everyone else who got snapped out of existence and shit. Because again, if you're bringing shit together, that stuff was never crossed. Like there was never a moment in Deadpool where they talk about how like people were gone for X amount of time and shit. You know, so it has to be a different universe, so maybe the snap didn't fucking happen.
Right.
But it's just the cameos that they created, like there's just so many opportunities that are in this movie. Like this could be the movie that could bring Marvel back to, popularity with people, because people are losing interest. I think people are enjoying the TV series on Disney Plus, the web series or whatever they're called. They're enjoying them more than the actual fucking movies. I think this is a way to kickstart their enjoyment into it once again. And it does suck. It happens to be at the it falls under the responsibility of two guys who are probably playing these characters for the very last time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm leaving you with this. Good fucking luck. I can never do more. So we'll see. I'm excited for it.
It's also, I think. So you mentioned, and I did go watch the end credits scene, but this is the way that the X-Men are getting into the larger Marvel universe. So that'll be fun. So. That'll be a neat thing. I've wanted the X-Men in the universe for forever also. So.
And they need to. It's like the idea that all these superheroes and guys exist, and not once was a mutant never mentioned.
Yep.
It's like you have to know they're out there. Like you have to know Magneto was a fucking guy. Like you have to know that villain exists somewhere. And the fact that he was never mentioned is mind-boggling. It's
Yeah.
You know, like the guy like a Juggernaut is out there in the world and never mentioned. A guy who could possibly pound for pound go up against maybe the Hulk, maybe not, maybe not beat the Hulk, but the fact that like there's a guy who could contend with that and shit. It's like they exist out there, you know, and the fact that they're never brought up, they're never mentioned is mind blowing. I think the closest they came to was Inhumans, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Inhumans, I think, was going to be the answer until they bought Fox.
Yeah. So it's I think it's a good thing that this is the beginning, and who knows, maybe that's going to open the door for mutants to be part of Avengers. I think there's some mutants in the Avengers. I think Wolverine was an Avenger at one point. I don't know if Hugh Jackman's gonna stick around for an Avenger movie, but who knows? Yeah. They need a fucking leader, and I think right now I guess it's Sam Wilson, but who knows? You know, I'm still kind of curious on what that Avenger class looks like, and if they don't throw any fucking X-Men into it, I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
Well, now I'm freaking thinking about how we're only 2 weeks, but still 2 weeks away from the Deadpool Wolverine movie. I forgot that was coming up so soon. I'm excited. What else? Oh, I've been revisiting a book series that I started but never finished forever ago called The Greatcoats. It's by an author called Sebastian de Castell. And it's very Three Musketeers. It's this world where there used to be this. They were traveling judges, and they wore these great coats. They're heavy leather coats that are like filled with bone plates and stuff. So they're lighter than regular armor, but can provide more protection than regular armor. So it can stop an arrow, can stop a crossbow bolt. One guy's pretty sure he can stop a bullet if he does it right. But it's a very fun story. There's like the main character. He's really smart and good with his swords. There's a guy who's good with a bow and arrow, a guy who is the greatest swordsman in the world. It's fun. It's a fun story. I just finished I've actually started and finished the first book in a day, on Thursday. And then I've started the second book yesterday. So it's fun. Highly recommend. Great audiobook if you're an audiobook person. So if our Audible's still running.
It is.
audibletrial.com/freaknet studios. Is that right?
Close. audibletrial/freaknet. audibletrial.com/freaknet, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a while since I plugged.
Oh, we rarely ever talk about it. I did actually bring it up on JFW recently because I totally forgot that we have a Patreon for JFW over there.
Oh, nice.
That we're going to try to promote again and see what happens. But yeah, I started talking about it because, and obviously, like when I talk about anything that helps promote us, I'm above and beyond appreciative of it. When I get over to JFW, I kind of fucking like yell at people for, whatever reason. It's like, it's goofy because, and I talked about this, I think with you, and I talked about it with everyone else. It's like when you get like Travis hosting JFW and Travis hosting this freaking show, it's like two different Travises. Right. Over here, I'm more like, hey, we're just gonna talk, have a good time and shit like that. Get a little bit, aggressive on some, things and shit. But over in JFW, it's nonstop fucking aggressive. Where like I can tell people, it's like you motherfuckers want to constantly tell me to buy your merchandise and buy tickets to your show and do this and do that, and yet you guys can't simply sign up for a Patreon for $1 a month, things like that. So it's just one of the things. It's just one of the things where like I think I did it last Saturday when I was with Jay, and I did it last Sunday when I was with Pax and Nubby, and I just kept telling people it's like you could either buy comics and save money that makes us money. You can sign up for Audible, which is absolutely free, and we make money. You can buy T-shirts and merchandise from us that gets you merchandise and helps us make money. You can sign up for Patreons that give you guys shout-outs and stuff, and it helps make it like it helps us make money. And it's like if you guys want us to do more, all you gotta do is help out. Like that's all it is. So it's like it was this big ass rant over there. Yeah. But over here, I'm very nice about it. When I say, thank you to CarterComics.com, because without him, we wouldn't be doing the cool things that we've been doing and shit. But yes, our Audible still exists. It is audibletrial.com/freaknet. And a simple free sign up really does give us a good chunk of change. Audible is awesome. Audible is a great sponsor to have if you have people who haven't already signed up for Audible before.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
actually, I think
we took a break from it for a while because of that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I signed up for Audible again not too long ago, and it took.
Nice.
So I think there's a period where like it resets or some shit, but it's and I'm not gonna mention what it is, but it's a decent payout for subscribers and shit. And it costs absolutely nothing other than a moment of the people's time to sign up and, cancel out if you decide you don't want to keep it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You get 30 days free of fucking listening to audiobooks. If you decide you don't want to keep it, you don't want to spend a month on it, you can cancel it. It still helps us. We still get the money from it, but yeah. I think once everyone's kind of signed up for it, I think those who keep it, and those who don't. So.
Yep. Every once in a while, I get back on Audible and I use our link again. But
yeah, it does help out. Yeah, I gotta look into it because I gotta see if those payments are automatically or if we happen to have money sitting somewhere that's untouched.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you freaking thinking about?
Think about people not helping us out financially like they should. No. I've been trying to figure out what my next step is in trying to get better and trying to get healthier and stuff. I unfortunately sank into this bullshit mindset once again of I failed, so I'm a failure, and I gained weight. I gained an unfortunate amount of weight. I'm to a point weight-wise where now I'm the heaviest I've ever been, and it's unfortunate. So just trying to correct that. I'm at a point now, and as I mentioned earlier, I hate going to fucking doctors because I hate fucking money and shit and pain and everything. But I think my back is now to a point now where I'm going to need to go see something medically about it because it's not getting any better. I do know that my insurance covers 25 chiropractor visits a year, and all I got to do is pay a copay. So I'm going to start utilizing those and hopefully just go in and say, listen, my lower back is jacked up, which it still makes no sense to me to where I can lay in bed for 7-8 hours a night, wake up, and get out of bed without a problem. But if I lay there for 45 minutes and try to get up, my back is killing me. And I can't understand why. The longer I lay there, the finer it is. I don't understand it. But I keep using that as an excuse not to try to be active. And as long as I keep doing that, I'm never going to get better. So I've been trying to focus on the whole, just being better. I really need to go grocery shopping. I really need to get food. I'm running low on actual food and meals and stuff like that. So it's unfortunate over the last couple of weeks I kind of fell into a funk. I fucking give up again, and it continuously happens. I think it's unfortunate that happens more than it should, but the sleep apnea thing is finally something that's set up. Finally, I can move forward with. Hopefully it does boost the testosterone level. It doesn't, whatever. But by August, I should be back at the doctor again, and I can have a conversation with let's figure out a way for me to get this number up and stuff. And I'm gonna talk with a couple of people I know and find out who could kind of get me motivated to go back to the gym and start doing stuff at home and stuff again. And even if it's just walking, at least it's something. So just trying to build myself back out of this goofy funk that I fell in not into again, but worse than I ever did before. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners can just Cartoon Joe here on this Freakin' show. But if an hour Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live. And, by the way, this upcoming Wednesday, we'll record our 500th episode.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was looking to see where you were at, and it looks like you guys released episode 498 Sunday.
Yeah, 499 should come out this weekend.
Oh, so you guys record a week ahead.
Yeah, like a few days.
You said you're recording episode 499 this Wednesday.
Oh, I thought I said 500. We just recorded 499 this past Wednesday.
Oh, and that's being released tomorrow. Correct. And then Wednesday. Okay. See, I'm used to you guys releasing on Saturdays. I just thought this one just had to be a day late. Okay. So 499 has been recorded. That will be released tomorrow. And then 500. Okay. I got you. Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We, I think last week, it was last week. It was either last week or the week before, we released episode 350 and I didn't realize it. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I usually like to try to keep tabs on that, and then I somehow dropped the ball. So we should be at episode 450, but it is what it is. We'll get there. It's a process. In the meantime, guys, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freakin' Show. If you like listening to our show, you can continue to do so on iTunes or Spotify or I guess Amazon Music, wherever you listen to audio, just search us. We're there. Subscribe. iHeartRadio is the thing, too. If you want to watch us, however, you can watch our podcast over at Freakin' Studios. That is still actually doing pretty well, especially since people know that we're coming back with our cemetery vlogs at the end of the month or the end of the year. So, super excited. So make sure you subscribe over at Freakin' Studios on YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you know when these shows come out. You can watch them over there. And while you're waiting for our shows to be released, check out, cemetery vlogs or check out us eating holiday food and stuff, because I watched that one the other day and I kind of miss it. I tried Googling like summer fast food releases and it really wasn't anything.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. But that's all I got, guys. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.